Buongiorno, you want pizza? We're making barbecue pizza today. Now, the first thing you want to do when you're making pizza is get your grill lit because it's going to take a while to come to temperature. So we're going to fill this thing up with charcoal and get it started and get it burning because, like I said, we want to get to 500 degrees to cook our pizza. Some people like to do it hotter. Some people like to do it a little bit cooler. That's where I like to cook my pizza. All right, so I'm going to show you how I set up my egg for pizza. You can do it how you like. What I do is I start with the convector, the deflector shield. You put that in there. We got a little bit of a fire going already. You want everything to heat up with the egg. So when you go to cook, your pizza stone is hot, everything's already hot. Otherwise, you're gonna put it in there, it's gonna cool down, you're not gonna get a good product. So a lot of people now would put the pizza stone right on top of there. I like to put the stone higher up in the dome because the heat comes like this and it's gonna cook the top just as evenly as it cooks the bottom. So I have this deflector out of my large Big Green Egg. You can use flower pots, whatever you can to raise the grid up a little bit. So we're gonna put this on here now, and then our pizza stone, voila, will sit on top of that, okay? Now you always wanna make sure you have it the right size, okay? This is gonna fit in here perfectly. We can close it down with no problem. But what's gonna happen now is you're gonna have all this heat under here. It's gonna heat the stone evenly so that the bottom and the top are heating evenly, so when you put your pizza on, it's gonna cook that dough nice and crisp and even while the heat comes from the top and cooks the top of the pizza and gets a little brown cheese, melty. Goodness, I love pizza, so good. So what we're gonna use today is we're gonna use a pizza screen. If you look back at the last video I made on pizzas, I showed you two different ways, with the screen or with parchment paper. I'm sticking with the screen. You probably noticed when I just showed you that we did change the setup inside the egg a little bit. Before I had two pizza stones stacked on top of each other. I like this better. It gets more airflow, allows the stone to heat evenly, and actually it heats up a little bit quicker. But the reason for the screen is that we put our dough right on this. It's just so easy to get on and off the peel. Right onto the egg, boom, comes right out. You'll see when we get to that point, but I just wanted to show you what this is. It's available at any restaurant supply store. You can get them online. Just make sure you have the right size. They come in small, medium, large, 16-inch, 14, any size you want. It's super handy and really makes pizza making a lot easier on the grill. Okay, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to reach a maximum of about 500. I want to keep it somewhere between 475 and 500 degrees for our pizza today. First thing is our dough. Now we're using a store-bought dough. A lot of people like to make their own. We got a great pizzeria. They sell them to me for $3 a piece. And next is our barbecue sauce. We're not using any kind of red Italian sauce. We're just using straight barbecue sauce for this one. And I have this beautiful leftover smoked chuck roast that we're gonna use. I like to make pizzas with my leftovers. It makes for an awesome way to use it. Cheddar cheese. And last but certainly not least, for that extra kick of flavor, some red onion. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna stretch our dough. You wanna put a lot of flour down, make this surface nice and easy to work with. You don't want your dough sticking to the surface. So we're gonna drop the dough down here and just start stretching. You kinda wanna roll it with your fingers here. Okay, you can see, make it nice and even. You wanna try and keep it as even all around as you possibly can. Stretch it over, give it a little slap, and let's flip it over. Do the same thing to the other side. We're gonna just keep stretching and stretching. Just wanna roll it. You're not pushing down with your fingertips like this. You wanna just roll it kind of gently with your fingers and let it just kind of stretch out and pull out on its own. And there we go. There's the first part of stretching the dough. And this is where the screen comes into play. When you're done stretching it, just lay it right down on your screen and make it fit. Look at that, like a glove. Huh? Okay, we want nice even coverage, so we're just gonna spread it around with our trusty ladle here. If you notice, I'm going right out to the edge, okay? You just want to make sure you have a nice even layer. You can fill in some little empty spots that you may find or something like that, but remember the cheese is going to melt and it's going to spread, so it may not seem like you have enough sometimes, and actually you wind up eating it going, oh my God, there's so much cheese on here, it's unbelievable. So And now for the meats. Last but certainly not least, red onion. It's gotta be red onion for a barbecue pizza. It's the only way to go. Put as little or as much as you like, that's up to you. I love some onion on my pizza. Now, one thing that you need when you're making pizza on a grill or anywhere is what's called a pizza peel. It's used to move the pizza around in the stove, in the oven, on the grill, wherever you're using it. They come in different sizes, they come in different materials. Whatever you find comfortable to use, that's what you should use. Open her up, burp it, because remember you got a hot fire going, so you always want to burp it first. Make sure you don't get a fire blast on you. Woo, that's hot. And here's your peel. Right on. Ooh-wee. Okay, now that we got the pizza on, should take probably about 6 minutes for this thing to cook. We're gonna check it about halfway through. Spin it, because if you spin it, you might have a hot spot over here and not over here. It's gonna cook more on one side, so you spin it, make sure it cooks evenly. Pro tip for you. Now let's check it. Remember, burp, because we don't want a big fireball coming out. Oh yeah, look at that, cooking beautifully. So, a couple things you can do here, okay? I'm gonna take this off altogether, okay? Set it down here. Now I'm gonna put it directly onto the stone. All right, just gives us a little bit better. Now also, remember I said about spinning it? Let's go ahead and spin it. Okay, again, let's see here. We should be ready. Oh yeah, look at that. Just check the bottom, make sure the bottom's good. Oh, the bottom is beautiful brown. Can you see that? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Oh my God, that's a gorgeous pizza. Now that's a pizza pie. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Look at that perfectness. Brown, crispy, oh, perfect. You gotta admit, that's a beautiful pizza right there. That's a barbecue pizza, baby. We got red onions, we got cheddar cheese, we've got barbecue sauce, we've got the leftovers right here of a chuck roast that we smoked the other day. Awesome way to use up leftovers. Now, there's a trick to cutting pizza. First of all, use a pizza cutter. Don't use a knife. Use a pizza cutter, okay? If you have to, go to the dollar store and get one, but use a pizza cutter. Now, when you slice it, crank down on it and just go straight across. Don't go back and forth. You wind up with all these little slivers everywhere. You don't want slivers of pizza. You want a pizza pie. You want a slice. All right, so I had to go inside for a second, and look what happens here. This pizza, hey, it's still happening. The whole crew, everybody's grabbing pizza. It's that good. It's really that good. So this was a fun cook. It's delicious. Listen, don't be afraid of making pizza at home. You just got to get the stone nice and hot. Make sure it's hot before you put your pizza on. That's the biggest problem that people have with it, is they don't get the stone hot, and the top gets overdone before the bottom is cooked. Anyway, listen, remember, subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell for notifications. You don't want to miss. We got some great stuff coming up, all right? And give us a thumbs up, a like, and leave us a comment down below. Tell us what you think of the pizza. Tell me what your favorite toppings are. Listen, thanks so much again for tuning in for another episode of the FOGO Life. I definitely appreciate it. I hope you had fun, and we'll see you next week.